Seinfeld's girl is 17 and innocent with double D's.
Hailed as one of the greatest sitcoms of all time, Seinfeld was the master of its domain for years. But rumors have it, Jerry Seinfeld's off-screen actions aren't as well-liked as his show. Looks like the star is panicking now that the truth is finally coming to light.
Yeah.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
For the longest time, The Seinfeld Show was the epitome of good television as it created a new wave of comedians and television writers. But as the cast gave out more and more disturbing details about what went on set behind the scenes, we're left wondering if Jerry deserved the fame and reverence he was given. The biggest controversy surrounding the comedian and writer began in 1994 when the then 38-year-old actor met a girl named Shoshanna Lonstein, who was only 17 years old at the time.
Girlfriends, all they talk about is going to science class. A girlfriend's life revolves around home. They got homework, homeroom, and they want to run away from home and live with their 38-year-old celebrity boyfriend.
Jerry has often insisted that the relationship only began after Lonstein turned 18, but the weird age difference didn't seem to faze the actor at all. He talked about going out with a high schooler as if it was the most normal thing in the world. He recalled, "I met this girl, Shoshanna. She's a very sweet girl and she's very pretty. I didn't know how old she was. I knew she wasn't 40. I took her to a basketball game and that was the whole thing." In fact, he said he had no idea how young Lonstein was when they first met. "I didn't realize she was so young. This is the only girl I ever went out with who was that young. I wasn't dating her. We just went to a restaurant and that was it." Jerry even tried to justify his actions by implying that age doesn't matter. He said, "I am not an idiot. Shoshanna is a person, not an age. She is extremely bright. She's funny, sharp, very alert. We just get along. You can hear the click." In another interview, he again insisted that age doesn't matter to him. As long as he likes the girl, he allegedly doesn't care if she is half his age. "I don't meet that many women I like, period. So when I like someone, I don't care about her race, creed, or national origin. If I like her, I don't care. I don't discriminate. If she's 18, if she's intelligent, that's fine." The highly controversial relationship wasn't a short fling either, but a 4-year-long serious relationship. After the breakup, you would think Jerry couldn't possibly come up with a relationship more controversial. But Jerry proved everyone wrong when he started dating again, this time a newly married woman. That's right, Jerry met his future wife Jessica Sklar just a month after she married a guy named Eric Nederlander. Sklar had just returned from a 3-week honeymoon in Italy. Eric, of course, had a thing or two to say about the comedian and his former wife. He said, "I was manipulated, misled, and completely caught off guard by Jessica's infidelity. Jerry and Jessica have no respect for decent values. They deserve each other. I'm going on with my life." People are pointing out how weird it was that Jerry's relationship with a minor was public. One person wrote, "The fact that a mid-30s Jerry Seinfeld was publicly dating an 18-year-old girl in HS is wild to me. Even wilder is that he would pick her up from school and it was front-page news and no one batted an eye. Times have truly changed. Jerry Seinfeld's on-screen persona was funny, and relationships weren't nearly as scandalous or inappropriate as his real-life romances. Although his character dated extensively on the show, his girlfriends were often treated as disposable. Over the course of the 180 episodes, Jerry accumulated 73 ex-girlfriends. But it seems like getting into relationships with younger or committed women wasn't Jerry's only problem. Another controversy arose in the show when Jerry started to write out characters from the episodes just because he felt like it. Allegedly, this made the cast so upset that some of them even threatened to permanently leave the show. When Jerry and Larry left Jason Alexander out of an episode, he was so upset that he confronted Larry. Before Seinfeld became a hit, Alexander had a successful career on Broadway, which he'd essentially given up for the sitcom. So then, why had he not talked to Jerry about it? It seems that Jerry's relationship with his co-stars wasn't as smooth as they had liked to pretend. He recalled, "I came back the next week and I said to Larry, 'Look, I get it, but if you do that again, do it permanently. I'd just as soon go back home and do what I was doing.' After years of working together, you would expect the cast and crew to be incredibly close. But rumors from the set show an entirely different picture. Apparently, David and Jerry wanted the actors to avoid being overly sentimental. Their solution was to impose a very strict no-hugging rule on set. It seems like Jerry might have ruined the cast's opportunity to make lifelong friendships and memories on set. Some people even think that Jerry might have been a bit of a bully on set. After all, there were rumors of him being fat-phobic and even offensive to Julia Louis-Dreyfus after she gained weight during her pregnancy. During the third season of the show, Louis-Dreyfus was 5 months pregnant, but her character, Elaine, was not. This meant the writers and wardrobe department would have to get creative. Jerry, however, wanted an easy way out, and his suggestions only came off as offensive. He told the actress, "I have a great idea. How about we write in this season that Elaine just gets fat?" Allegedly, this comment stung the pregnant actress so much that she ended up crying on set. Looks like the two were never able to get on good terms again, as Julia blasted Jerry on a show and claimed that she wasn't really impressed by the series finale.
We take part in another hugely disappointing series finale.
There were even more secrets that slowly came to light over the years that cast a dark shadow on the production. For example, Jerry allegedly didn't get along with a lot of people associated with the series. One of the most important and beloved characters of the show was the Soup Nazi. Like many other characters on the show, he has a real-life counterpart in Al Yagana, who was a famously mean New York soup kitchen operator. Yagane wasn't too fond of his fictionalized counterpart, telling CNN that Jerry Seinfeld is a clown whose use of the word Nazi is disgraceful. He ended up banning Seinfeld from his establishment for life. You'd think that Jerry would only insult people he didn't like through his writing, but apparently even his friends weren't safe from him. Michael Constanza, a real-life friend of Jerry, was convinced that he was the inspiration behind George, and lo and behold, he was also convinced that the character portrayed him in a bad light. He even sued Jerry Seinfeld for $100 million over this. Another on the list of unending controversies regarding Jerry is his alleged involvement in the infamous Scientology religion. He spoke about his time with the society and said, "I actually got to it from my auto mechanics teacher in high school who was into it, and he was telling me about it. In my early years of stand-up, it was very helpful. I took a couple of courses. One of them was in communication, and I learned some things about communication that really got my act going. They have a lot of very good technology. That's what really appealed to me about it. It's not faith-based. It's all technology, and I'm obsessed with technology." Jerry's personal life wasn't the only thing going wrong during the show's run. In fact, the cast almost appeared to be under a curse, later known as the Seinfeld curse, as they tried and failed to launch new sitcoms with them as leads. Some of the main cast, like Jason Alexander and Michael Richards, don't have much to their name except Seinfeld. Still, Julia thinks that the curse is nothing but a false rumor. It was invented by the media. They thought it was clever. You don't need me to prove it wrong. It was ridiculous. It made no sense. I was amazed that it had legs because it was so moronic. I don't know how else to say it. But then again, you have to remember she's one of the few exceptions that made it big in Hollywood outside Seinfeld. However, some fans think that the curse was never real and that the male cast never succeeded again because they were just not good enough. One person wrote, "People have talked about the Seinfeld curse for years, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus has done just fine. There was never any curse. It's just that most of the Seinfeld men were asterisk people, whereas Elaine Beans wasn't. Jerry Seinfeld might have enjoyed years of fame and glory thanks to Seinfeld, but the cast is no longer hiding Jerry's notorious real-life personality. And it looks like it is causing more trouble for the comedian than he anticipated." That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.